everybody, my name's Cara on Fire and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we're going to be learning about things that are unique, legendary and epic, because your fighting style might change when this new update drops. And this is a good thing, don't worry guys. So there is all sorts of things going on. We have different tiers now in the game. So a long time ago you would have just had like legendary items, and if we look at our legendaries now, they have an orangey yellowy border, mostly orange. They will state they're legendary and they are much different from the other two. But what else is really different now is the blue tier, and these are called unique items. Now when I first looked at this, it really confused me. I was like, why do we have all these borders around items? What are they for? Why is this a thing? Why is this needed? But I actually found out they had an incredible and interesting secret to them. So in the game, if I was to go about crafting a normal steel mace, it would just give me a normal steel mace. Same with anything normal in here that I can craft. Just anything up to hardened steel tier, it's just going to come out normal, nothing special about it. Well, in this update, they have implemented these unique items. Now, these can only be gotten out of 2 skull bosses, to my knowledge. They can give you unique items. Now, where might you find some 2 skull unique bosses? Well, from my understanding is they are a chance spawn in any camp, really. As you can see, there's Cannibal ones, Howling Dog, Relic Hunter Champion. They're all called champions. Lemurian, Void Cursed, Black Hand. So you can see there are going to be ones that are on Sipter, and there are ones that are going to be on the Exiled Lands in here. And you will find them in their respective camps. So the Nordheimer one, you're most likely going to find it at a Nordheimer camp. And they are bigger, so you will definitely recognise them when you come across them, because they're just like T4s. But you might get a nasty surprise. Now, if you piss them off, they will attempt to attack you, but if you do manage to slay them, they can drop special items. So, for example, with destroying half of my house, thanks me, you can see I've killed off a few of them, and you can see they are dropping blue items. Not only can they drop blue items, they can drop the epic items as well, which basically are epic items that you can craft. So things that tend to be epic tend to be Kari Steel, Venom Steel, Star Metal, things like that. And some hardened steel items, mostly weapons. And then other things you can get out are, you know, this hardened steel shield. This is a unique item, so if I was to craft one of these, it wouldn't have a blue border. So funny enough, if I'm to craft a hardened steel shield, it'll actually come out epic. And as you can see, it gives me 33 health damage, 12 armor pen, and 2500 durability. But if I was to pick up a unique hardened steel shield, it would give me 3750 durability, 42 health damage, and 14 armor penetration. Meaning this unique is actually better than the epic I can craft. Now, to me, this seems a little bit of a weird design choice that they would go about it this way. But these blue items you can only ever receive from these special people. So from my knowledge, you can't really get it any other way, and they give you interesting things. So let's just kill off a few more. Sorry, people. So look at inside this guy. He's given us a hardened steel bow. That's going to be better than the ones we can craft, even if they come out epic. So just to give you some ideas there, Iron Pike is going to have way better damage than a normal Iron Pike. And other bits and pieces you can get through here as well. Iron Mace, that guy's given me. This Stygian Champion's even given me some treasure as well. Interesting. In here, they've dropped some nice items, but they've also dropped a hardened steel mace. So again, hardened steel is something, when you make it, it should come out epic. So if you pick up something unique, it will be better than it. But the most sensible things I can make sense of is the unique ones coming out of, you know, your iron and your normal steel and stuff. It's like an upgraded version. So if you ever see these blue borders, it will be an upgraded version of the version that you can make. So you can't make a blue border, but if you find a blue border, it will be better than the one that you made. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a little bit hard to get your head wrapped around, but I've kind of made sense of it, I hope. One thing to note about these new legendaries, reading from the patch notes itself, is legendaries and unique items cannot be repaired in any way, say Funcom. So if you do pick up these from a chest and stuff, it's not permanent. It will last until that durability is done. From what I'm understanding, the new repair kits, the Grandmaster weapon repair kits, will not be able to repair these or these. So you won't be able to repair them anymore. I'm not too sure about the idea behind that choice, but that's how it is now. In general as well, they have made repair kits a bit more pricey according to what they're saying. So now if you want to repair your general kind of weapons, it'll be good to stock up on stuff to be able to afford these new repair kits, so the price has been adjusted. A nice thing is though, the weight of them has been lowered so they're not as heavy as they used to be. A change with these repair kits as well, they said they are going to work on pretty much any piece of armor or equipment you put them on, minus the unique and legendary, but they will repair a certain amount per kit. So now you won't just have to have all these rainbows of repair kits, you can use them, any of them, to repair any of your weapons, minus the ones stated, and they will repair it a certain percentage. To balance out the not being able to repair these unique and legendary weapons though, apparently they have increased the durability. So looking at my normal steel mace, you can see it only has 880 durability, whereas my unique one has 1375. So it'll last me a little bit longer and I can use it a bit more, do a little bit more damage, but I can't repair it like my steel mace. That is not unique. Another thing to note is you might have to change out your shields more often because they have half the durability on shields. They won't be as much as they used to be, so definitely bear that in mind. Now you might be hearing this and thinking, oh no, all these tweaks and nerfs are pretty gross, but don't worry, they have put up some buffs as well with these nerfs. So for heavy attacks, they will actually do more damage than before, ranging from 5% to 20% more damage depending on the weapon type. So you should be able to do a lot more damage in combat, and it being a lot less of a pain in the arse. As well as that, if I can borrow this nice happy rhino here, if he stops charging off everywhere, now every heavy attack I do will apply a status effect. So you can see the rhino boss is now crippled. If I was to hit him twice, 1, 2, he's got double cripple. Hit him another one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the kind of attack pattern of this particular weapon, the war axe, I'm doing a status effect every time I hit him. So let's do a full combination. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see he's getting a status effect every time I hit him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a full 1. Now he has 4 cripple and 2 bleed. And it should be the same for any kind of weapon that you use. Every time you hit that right mouse button or whatever you use for your heavy attack, you will do that status effect. And well, depending on your grit, you might want to move it around to be able to do a full combination to achieve max stacks. But you will be able to do more damage while doing this stuff and more status effects to balance out the other nerfs. So that does sound nice, that part of it. 2 changes that have changed per this kind of update as well via weapon types is if you're using a 2-handed axe, now that it will apply cripple effect on heavy attacks. So if I'm to attack him, it should give me some nice crippling effects. And then for the short sword, it's also had some edits on its heavy attack. So this will now apply bleed effect on heavy attacks. So if I go for him, you can see every heavy attack I'm doing with the short sword is giving bleed. So maybe this will bring forth a new meta for the short sword, because that's pretty banging if I'm honest. If you can do, you know, bleed on every heavy attack on a light item, that's not awful. I'm getting quite a few in, and my stamina is okay. Update on the stamina as well, by the way. They have changed the settings up a little bit so the regen is better. So it's actually a lot more palatable than before, thankfully, since this little change. So it's still not going to be like it was before, but as you can see, it's recharging quite nicely. Before, when it was recharged, it had like a really bad delay and it was really unbearable, but now when it's recharging, you can see it pretty much instantly goes up as soon as I've taken like a 2-second break. and then I can keep going forth. So short sword meter might be the new thing, if I'm honest with you guys, because it does seem pretty fun playing around with it and doing lots of stacks of bleed. That's just two of the weapons they have changed with bits about on them. You might want to test out like other weapon types and see what each combination does for you, and kind of see what weapons you prefer in that regard. But that's just some differences with the whole weapon system. It's going to be quite the mix-up for you now. You're going to have to kind of figure out how to go about this new system. But from the positive changes on the parts of what they're doing with the weapons, it does seem a little bit more fun this way, and I do feel a lot better now. I have seen the stamina just shoot back up like that again, instead of having really big delays. I think the biggest offender for me when I was trying it out was definitely the hammer. So I've pulled out a steel war hammer. The worst thing for me last time was that this thing recharged really slow. So I've used a full one. Oh, it's still actually quite bad. Never mind. Let's just try not completely draining my stamina. You can see that you have to wait quite a while for you to fully stop before it recharges. So this is one of the biggest offenders of the bunch. However, I can see actually, hang on. If we swing and then we immediately move out the animation and walk. Ah, there you go. There's the fix. So if you stay still, it's actually bad. Interesting. So you can see I'm not moving, I'm not regenning at all. You see how slow that was? That was like a full full 6 seconds. It just did absolutely nothing. But if I do this, hang on. 1, 2, 3, and then I move immediately. I see. Okay, so that might be a bit of a bug there. I see what's up. That is very weird. I was getting it was weird because like some things just was not regenning correctly. Well, you can see it with the war axe as well, the two-handed great axe. And then if I was to do that again and then immediately move as quick, that's so strange. Okay. So the idea is never stay static, I guess. You just got to keep moving, because there seems to be a very strange way they have done the stamina. If you don't keep moving, then it won't recharge as fast. That's so interesting. So even if I was to stop with this, that one recharges quite nicely. The lighter your weapon is, the better the recharge and the less the stamina cost it does seem to be. But the heavier, you can definitely notice it with it. Yeah, 100%. Because that's taking ages for me to regenerate. Whereas they said it would be snappy. But if you move, it's fine. Interesting. Okay, that'll be my tip to you. Move around and you'll be fine. But yeah, those are the weapon changes. It's going to take a bit to get used to. It's the same with tools as well, by the way. As you can see, my star metal pickaxe is epic tier. So if you're making things like that, you know, it will be a bit different. As well as they have changed these icons up here. If you're looking for certain categories, you can actually see it on the menu here what is classed as epic. So you can see my tools here. Stops at steel, starts at hardened steel. The whole hardened steel thing with the unique and the epic is a bit weird to me, because they've actually said on their own patch notes that epic will always be better than unique, which is a bit weird because no, it's not. But hey, maybe it's a bug. Again, test live, they always change things and fix them around. And you can see on here as well, the later tiers of these are all epic as well. Very interesting to see compared to the other ones that just have no status effect on it at all. So there you go, that is the difference. Unique, legendary and rare. Do you like this new system? Are you liking the new buffs and debuffs? What is your thoughts on this whole new system? I like some bits of it. The stamina thing, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but I am glad they have started to make changes on it and they are balancing things around. I think that's the beauty of Test Live. You've got to try things out and let them know, so they know to balance things a bit, you know, a bit better. If you test it all out, it really helps. So it's always important to give constructive criticism and feedback. And hopefully the game will be tiered a bit better to the consumer that way if we give our kind of thoughts and feedback. Again, not aggressive ones, just nice constructive criticism, because being mean gets you nowhere. But Anyway, that is the changes. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.